Good afternoon, my mates. Thanks for the videos, and looks like you played really well. So much good stuff that you really incorporate things so very quickly. So super impressed with what you did with the body alignment. Okay, stopped aiming so far right. You really got that body alignment looking really good. All right, even from there, the backswing is now looking more online, so it's sort of less inside. Okay, and then really doing a great job of trying to attack the back of the ball and trying to complete that circle. Right, this full release, it's not always 100% comfortable and balanced or whatever, but what a great job you've done, mate. So you hit quite a lot of sort of good looking shots, good swings, okay, fundamentally swinging online. But because it's all new and a bit uncomfortable, and obviously there's still a little bit of changing of the posture, okay, a few sort of mishits. All right, a couple of good ones, but a couple out the toe. That one driver low on the face, even though it was such a good path, such a good release, such good alignment. Low on the face, just went low and straight. So it doesn't always feel great, but it's the dispersion is now really coming in. All right, very early on. So super happy, super impressed. Okay, so just keep it up, right? So it's going to take a while to keep churning and stay in that posture and then still release the club. Okay, it's going to take a while. We're just going to do slowly, and then obviously our long, it's not long, and our medium-term thing of lengthening that backswing. You did get it quite long and soft on that last driver, all right, and he hammered it. Okay, it really took off nicely. So, yeah, I mean, especially where you had now, probably no need to do that with a 9-9 or 8-9 or anything like that. But we will just lengthen it a little bit over time. All right, super happy with where you're at, even though the final center striking wasn't quite there. Okay, the alignment was there, the path was there, the release and the footwork looking really good. So well done. Okay, right, so that is where we're going to focus our energy this week. A little bit of what we have been doing, but with a focus on the center striking, all right, and then slowly building that posture. Okay, just one thing there with the irons, you've got the body alignment so much better, but the club face is still a bit closed with the irons. Okay, so we work on start line drill this week, and if start line drill works, then the idea on the golf course is you pick an intermediate target, a piece of grass or a divot or something like that, and that becomes your start line, or just right of that becomes your start line. So then that becomes your aim point. So we aim the bottom of the club at a target a foot or 2 foot in front of us, and then the body alignment. Okay, but if anything, just favor the club face being a little bit open for now. Okay, because that is going to promote you to swing around your body a little bit anyway. Okay, so just keep an eye on that face alignment. Okay, so warm up. Okay, L to L, this is to create some neatness. Also a bit of short game, which we haven't touched on yet, so we will in the upcoming month. All right, so very narrow, everything neat and tidy. Okay, little L shape. Talking about 30 yards, 40 yards over a bunker, something like that. All right, so L to L warm up, but I want you to do it with center striking. Okay, so that's essentially 2 tees. Okay, you can do it with balls, but 2 tees, right? So we're going to put a tee just either side of the club head. Okay, so you stick that in the ground. I like sticking this one on this angle, same as the shaft. Okay, but you can kind of figure out how you want to do it. And it's just in line with the club face, so it's just behind the golf ball. Okay, so club face is there, golf ball just in front of those tees. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, so stick that in the ground. Okay, I like that one at a little angle. There we go. And the idea is send L to L and don't hit any of the tees. All right, over and over and over and over. L to L. Oh, right, so what does that mean? Hit the outside tee, that means I hit the ball slightly on the heel. So we could sort of tell by the strike or the feel and the flight, okay, that it wasn't very far at the heel, but it was definitely at the heel. Okay, now, unless you practice that, you don't pick it up when you're on the golf course. Right, so you might be hitting a few good shots just either side of center, and then we don't pick it up because we haven't practiced it. Okay. Obviously, it's more likely, one or two, but generally at the toes, it's more likely for you to hit this inside one. Okay, here we go. See if I can do it a little bit better. There we go. Okay, and so you go. Right. Then second round of L to L, I want just a little bit fadey, a little bit cutty. Okay, what we're saying there is we're going to swing just a little bit out to in. Yeah, 3 or 5 degrees out to in. Okay, and then we just want to tweak that face open. Okay, for now, do it with your sandwich, not with your 58. Do it with your 54. Okay, but we're going to set up just left of target. Yeah. Okay, there's my target there. I'm going to tweak the face open at address. So the club face is aiming at the target. I'm aiming 3 or 4 degrees left. And then I follow my body a little bit out to in on my L to L. Okay. All right, and try and get comfortable. They're going to be very uncomfortable for you in the beginning. Your face, if anything, is a little bit shut. Okay, and then obviously you like to swing a little bit into out. So this is going to be very uncomfortable for you, but that's why we're going to practice it. And again, really good shot to have. And it's kind of very, very, very similar to what our stock bunker technique is going to be. Okay, so tweak the face open, aim a little bit left, L to L, and out to in. Okay, slightly across the golf ball. All right? Okay, then first full swing drill. Okay, we're going to do space drill. I don't know if you actually did the drill or you just kind of had a feel and went and played. But we're going to do space drill. So it's the one where you just kind of feel some space here, hips going back. Okay, just feel some space here, obviously particularly in the downswing. So we're trying to cut out this and this. Okay, we're just trying to be nice and wide and strong. Okay, so just a feel-based draw. Okay, nice and wide. All right, space draw. Okay, you can see when I'm forcing it there, hanging on to the follow-through a little bit. Okay, it's just part of doing the draw. All right, just got to kind of, that's what we want to do. It's obviously better than doing that, yeah? Okay. And then second drill, start line drill. All right, but we're doing start line drill with center striking. Okay, so now it's not L to L, so now it's full swings, irons, etc., etc. We're putting our tees in for center striking, and then we've got another tee for our start line. Okay, so we want to try and start that ball just a hair right this week. Okay, so that's where we're aiming. Target is there. Is that right? Oh, yeah. Okay, so obviously I want to be going this way, but I want the ball going just right of that tee. But what that means is when I set up, I want to aim the face here. That's really, I mean, I do want you to focus on the start line, but I really want you to aim the face there. Okay, and then obviously don't close the body off. Okay, start line, center striking. Finish that circle like that one. Okay. Loving your work. Do your drills. All right. They are difficult. Okay. I think it's probably going to be these drills for a couple of weeks. All right. Let me know how it goes and obviously send some videos and keep doing what you're doing. I'm absolutely loving your work. I can tell your feedback that you're enjoying it and that's your golf. You're loving your golf at the moment. So please keep that up as well. All right. Talk to you later, my mate.